Hello, my friends. I welcome you to another episode of Aditya Talks, and today we have Mr. Tejas on our show. So he is the founder of Electric, and he's a young pioneer who is venturing into technology, and he is doing a lot of interesting stuff. So let's welcome him to the show. Welcome, Mr.
Hi,
Tejas.
hi, nice to meet you, Aditya. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is mine. It's very interesting to talk to like-minded people and children who are trying to really do something for our country.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
yes. So welcome, Tejas. As I said, and how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm also fine. So let's begin with your story. And now, please tell us about yourself, how you started Electric, and basically your story.
Right. So I actually started coding around 2 years back, basically in the start of the lockdown. And I actually started off with with iOS app development, and then I just moved on to to doing cross-platform app development, and then I actually started. So my whole goal, so Electric was almost built because of a problem I faced when I was trying to do something. So I personally think that like the best ideas are those that are inspired by a problem that you face, because a problem that you face is probably something that everyone faces, like so many people would normally face. So I was actually trying to start learning machine learning, and I was trying to install. So actually, machine learning requires a lot of dependencies, a lot of prerequisites on your machine, right? And I just found it so hard to even get started with like machine learning, and I was thinking, how can I simplify the whole process, how can I make this process easy for anyone to do, right? Because I was actually quite experienced with the command line at that point in time, and like it was a very hard thing to do. Like I actually at the end I still can't do it. And that's why I actually started to create Electric. So essentially, it all started with a smaller project, and that was called Turbocharge. Turbocharge was it was a cross-platform package manager, and it uses some of the same principles of Electric, except it's quite different. So normally, like software, so Turbocharge was not like a normal package manager. It was cross-platform because it used the native OS level package managers, and a package manager is basically a software that can install any application through the command line interface. So essentially, it all started with that, and I started realizing that on Windows, everything's so slow, and the native package manager for Windows, or like rather the dominant one, which is Chocolatey, it was very slow. It was not very robust. It was not user friendly. It was tough to use. And then I thought that there has to be something I can do to fix this issue. Like the whole size of Chocolatey itself. Even though Chocolatey is only around 15 MB on itself, it's dependent on a 4.5 GB framework. So it's not lightweight. It's very slow, and it's also not using the power of today's modern machines. So I thought that I can do something to improve this experience, right? So then I started building Electric. So it all started with a small Python script. So I was actually very new to Python at the time. I just released Overcharge. I was around 2 weeks into it, and I started working on Electric. And it started as a small Python script, and I was like so inexperienced. I just did if package name equal to this, and I wrote like specific cases for each package. And as I progressed, I started looking for ways to expand this to more than one package. So like you can install, so like today you can install over 200 applications through Electric, and the number is just constantly increasing. So I actually started with that, and I slowly started learning Python as a language. I started learning about package management, about handling software, about a lot of stuff that I had never seen before. And it was it was a great learning experience. And one of the core things, like there's a few core principles that Electric wants to focus on. Number one is being fast. So Electric is currently one of the fastest Windows package managers, and that's because it uses concurrency and it uses multi-threading to install software quickly. And it's also very simple to use. So you just type electric install and like software name, or like you can say electric install Zoom, and it'll install Zoom on your PC, right? And it's just one command. And that's the second principle. The third principle is that it's very robust. It knows how to fix certain errors that occur, and it's robust as a software. And the fourth and final principle is to show the user what. So there's actually like there's no software that's like perfect out there, and you can obviously strive for constant improvement, which I do. But at the end of the day, something like package management is also dependent on the software that you're trying to install. So it will so installations will fail, and like that's a truth that you have to accept. So I've like put a focus on trying to explain how to fix the error based on what error the installer throws. So like that's another thing. And like more than that, it's been such a great journey for me as a developer, right? Because I learned so much, and like one of the key takeaways that I learned was that like whenever you face a bug, right, or an issue with your code, instead of of worrying that you won't be able to fix it, if you just try to fix it, you will 100% fix it. Like, because there's been so many times when I've thought, oh my god, fine, so I can't fix this error, I have to stop working on electric, I can never fix this error. And it's never like that, because there's always a way to push through if you try and you're determined. So that's the first key takeaway. The second key takeaway is basically like when you have a bug in your code, right? Don't look at it as something that you don't want to approach, because I actually learned that the more bugs you fix, right? So obviously you have to strive to write bugless code, but that's almost not possible. But as much as possible, like when you face an issue, you have to focus on like what you have to keep in mind is that once you fix that issue, your software is just that much closer to perfection, right? So the more bugs you fix, instead of dreading fixing that bug, once you fix it, your software is just that much closer to perfection, and you just get that much closer, right? So that's a big motivating factor for me for fixing an issue, like rather than dreading it. And obviously that's not to say that you have to write buggy code, but you should focus on obviously improving what you're doing. But more than that, bugs will happen, or like bugs will be there, and you should think of the fact that you won't like your software just gets better with more bugs you fix. So that's one thing. And yeah, that's been my journey. Like right now, yeah. So like right now, I'm focusing on like trying to learn stuff like data structures, algorithms, and stuff more focused also on lower level languages. So like until now, I've mainly been doing Python, which is very high level. It's not that hard to code in Python. Like anyone can actually code in Python, right? But I've started trying to learn more lower level languages, get software that's more performant and that's faster, and like that's been my key focus.
Yes. Well, that is certainly interesting, and you told us about your story from the start of the COVID. But so that is very interesting. So you started coding from the start of COVID. You just starting looking for like new skills. So basically, if COVID never happened, this would have never happened. So COVID is actually good in some ways, and that is the same for me also.
Yes, because like I mean, I was just because like I was just stuck at home. It's a bit more than that. I had previously discussed many cool ideas of apps with my parents, but the sad part is that like I could never execute any of them just because of the fact that I didn't have the skills to do it, right? So like just that night, I was just really bored. Lockdown had started, like India was almost in like ruins, and I was just trying to learn something new. I just picked up a course from like Udemy. So I'm like self-taught. I actually hate classes and stuff because honestly, I think that like the moment the moment you actually start learning from a class, and the moment someone forces you to sit at 4 o'clock every day to to learn something, it becomes a chore. So that's why I actually encourage people to be self-taught, because the more you learn, okay. So, so I'm actually a self-taught developer, and I believe that like the moment you actually join a class for like something, right? At least personally for me, it almost becomes like a chore, because you have to always sit on a set time, do 1 hour of that, only that, and like just have that intense level of focus. And that's not saying that like classes are bad. Classes do help as long as you like classes. Though I think I personally am a self-taught developer, and I think that that self-learning is one of the best ways to start progressing with technology, or actually anything in that case, right? So if you want to like jump into coding, right, my suggestion would be to pick up a course on Udemy, and just like start going through the videos, start following the instructions, go through all the demos, go through everything, and you will get there, because it's honestly not that hard. It's absolutely not that hard, like not as hard as it seems, and not as hard as it's portrayed to be. So yeah, you should try to be self-taught, uh, and like anytime you want, you can just go get a course online and just start learning.
Yes. So that is pretty interesting. So you are completely against classes, which I believe is also. I also believe that, but and I myself learned a lot of things. I also learned a little bit of coding from Udemy and Coursera and stuff like that. So it is very interesting, and these type of online resources are mostly, and you can mostly like find these resources for free, and you don't have to
Absolutely.
invest a lot, because sometimes you're just experimenting. Because if you just start like for children like us, if they start getting into coding, and they don't understand, then their money will be lost, right? So
Exactly.
we
and
should.
it's and it's not only
Yes.
that, like I can tell you for a fact that like these as long as you pick up a high rated course, these are very very good investments in your future, because like if you pay 700 rupees or 300 rupees on sale for a course today, you're getting invaluable advice, invaluable skills, and
Yes.
honestly, I think like even if the cost is 1,000 rupees, it's very well worth the price, because like tomorrow you can get a job that pays so much more, and like this is just a small amount, and the amount of knowledge you gain is immense.
Yes. And so that is very interesting. Now please tell us about the hobby of coding. How did you arise, like how did your interest arouse like in technology? How did you
Right.
get the whiff of technology?
Yeah. So actually, as I said, my parents like regularly discuss app, or like cool app ideas with me, and like I was just I just wanted to like be able to execute those ideas, right? Because there are so many good ideas just going to waste because I was not able to execute them, right? So that's what I actually decided, and that paired with the fact that I had a lot of free time in the start of the lockdown, caused me to like get into technology. I just mindlessly like bought a course from Udemy. It was highly rated. I just bought the course. I started learning for around 6-7 hours a day, for like around a month and a half. And by then I was up to speed on most things. I was actually quite experienced as a developer, and yeah, that's where my whole interest in technology arose, because I mean like one massive thing about coding is that, especially with app development or like anything else, actually, as a matter of fact, you're able to instantly see results. Like you type one line of code and you're able to see the result of that instantly. It's not like you wait for 10 years and then okay, after those 10 years you'll be able to see something, right? Like this is instant. Like it is instant feedback, and that's what keeps me going, and that's what keeps a lot of developers going. It's the
Yes.
fact that you can do so much in so little time, and you have so much power in that sense.
Yes. And this was when did you start this hobby?
Yeah, start of lockdown, so I think
Oh.
maybe 2 years back. Yeah.
Yes. So that was pretty interesting. Please tell us about how technology impacted your life, And why do you think other children's, like I'm using technology in another way, you're like founding a startup, you're trying to impact people using technology, I'm trying to spread messages through my through technology, so it's all related to technology. So why, how do you think
Absolutely.
people you do you recommend children to use technology, and how?
Absolutely.
Because there are
So I think,
many children who use like TikTok and all of that, and that is also
yeah.
technology at the essence. So what do you think, and what are your views? uh,
Right. So I personally feel that like technology is a very core part of everyone's lives. Even for like a 2 year old, it's still a core part of their lives. And obviously you have to find a way to find a balance between having fun with technology and using that and using that technology to your advantage. And like coding is like such a skill that will allow you to harness the power of technology today. And that's why I think a lot of people should learn it, because I personally feel that it's something that's going to become big in the future, and it's still big today, but it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And it's not only that, like I personally am not on like any social media platforms, though I do use like Discord, for example, for like speaking to my friends, right? But you must find a good balance between having fun with technology, using technology to empower others, or to build something, or to just make the world just a little bit better, right? So I personally feel that young people should start using technology in to empower themselves and others, and to make the world just a little bit better, because that's 100% possible today. It's not that hard to like get to start coding, to start making a change, and technology is a fantastic way to bring your change worldwide.
yes, and I also wanted to ask about a very interesting thing. You have seen all these startups like White Hat Junior and all of these, like they are what is your view on those, like on those startups?
So actually, funnily enough, I was part of White Eye Junior. I just started like I think I might have done 10 hours. I'm not sure though. It was quite enjoyable, honestly. Like my like I had a good time over there, but I personally felt that like I mean I just wanted to continue on my own. It was not because of the platform itself. The platform was fantastic. The teachers were very good. But like I just wanted to continue myself, because I didn't want to be bound by the projects that they expect me to do. I want to do what I want to do in that sense. So it's a fantastic platform if you want to just get into coding. But like I broke off after a few hours, because I personally wanted to do something. So I mean, I learned so many valuable skills. It was a great course, but I also wanted to start building something on my own, right? And like I didn't want coding to like become a chore for me, because as I said, I don't really enjoy classes that much, right? But for those who do enjoy classes, or for those who do want to get into coding, it is a good platform, and obviously you can build great things with knowledge that you gain from that. But I personally broke off because I wanted to build something on my own, and I wanted to be self-taught in that sense, right?
Yes, that is good, and I also believe that you should like study on your own, and there are many things you can achieve on your own. They White Hat Junior on all of these. This is my personal opinion. No offense to the people using White Hat Junior or things like that. Um, I believe it's not. It's like a waste of money. The same thing you can get on Udemy or Coursera, like for 100,000 rupees or something like that, and you can learn from like college professors and people who are actually doing something great in the field. So I believe that we can do also that, and it is not a burden. It's something we enjoy, right? We
Absolutely.
can.
So for anyone who actually enjoys coding, or for anyone who's very curious to like get into coding, you can. It's best to be self-taught. That's not saying that White Hat is a bad flaw. I mean, like White Hat is a great platform, and it's definitely not for everyone. But for those who, or like for parents who like want to get their children into coding, I feel that it's a great platform to just get started. Like I got started over there almost like for like 10 hours, and then I started like coding on my own, right? But that's the thing. So if parents want to get their children into coding, that's a great place. Udemy courses might not be great for like children who are younger, and that will
Yes.
definitely need more of like one-on-one personal coaching. So I think that's where a white hat is good. But I personally think that I mean, I've also seen like so much controversy over like why should young people start coding? Coding's ruining their lives. I personally like strongly disagree, because if you're not interested in coding, that's fine. I mean, like that's totally understandable. There's so many other things you can learn, right? But coding is a great skill. It's definitely something to like look forward to in the future. It's just getting bigger and bigger. And it's not going to go anywhere soon. So I mean, it's not ruining like anyone's lives. And as long as the person enjoys coding, it is completely fine to spend 3-4 hours in a day coding, because at the end of the day, it's not being on a platform like TikTok, in which like you just watch like whatever videos and like you just post videos. Like it's productive, right? And that's what people don't realize, is that like if going on to a social platform is fine, then like why isn't coding fine, right? Like coding is a great skill, and I personally feel that like there's nothing wrong with doing 4 to 5 hours of coding. I mean, like that might be a bit much, but yeah, coding is a great skill to know, and it's much more productive than other uses of like technology that you can see today. So yeah, I don't think that it's something wrong for young people to be doing.
Young people in the sense from 5 to 10, right?
Yeah, and anywhere from 5 to like 20 even, that's all young people. And and I mean, it's just so much better. I mean, see, so like people don't complain about like their kids being on like social media, right? So then like why do they complain about people doing coding, right? I feel that it's an unfair thing to speak about. But yes, so as I said, young people should or can get into coding if they want to. It also like builds more than just the coding skill. It builds the skill of entrepreneurship and like software, or like of like collaboration, right? Because such a big part of coding is just collaboration, right? So it builds logic, it builds like collaboration skills, it builds so many other skills, right? It's just not only coding. So I feel like people are just viewing it as like someone staring at a screen for like 5 hours a day just typing something, which is it's so much more than that.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is something more than that, and we should everybody should know technology, because it is like not even young
Absolutely.
children. I'm not like not even young children. Like many people, like 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old, whatever, even 70-year-old.
Yeah,
They
age is
they
not
should
a
learn
boundary.
about technology. If you work in
Absolutely.
something like banking, then technology can impact there. If you work in any textile field, then you can make a website and you can start online, and you can
Exactly.
impact your life with technology in every sort of way. So you should know at least a gist of technology, not be a like
Absolutely.
a blockchain expert, a data scientist or something like that, but at least know like the ABCD of it. So it is
Absolutely, and a lot of people think that age is a boundary, but that's absolutely false. Like even a 90-year-old, I mean, like even a 90-year-old can code, and even a 5-year-old can code. It's like not something that's so hard, right? And honestly, like I think that like there's been a lot of people who have been very encouraging of me, but like just because I'm like young. But I personally feel that like that same level of encouragement should be shown to every other developer, because like there's no age as a boundary stereotype. Like I just go against that whole thing, because at the end of the day, you are coding something like you just need a bit of logic, a few creative ideas, and that's all you need to like get started, right? And an open mindset. So age is like not a boundary at all.
yes, actually, what why people appraise all of the children who are like doing something else than the normal kind of children, the normal species. So like people children like me and you, people appraise us because they see like every child has an option to do like two things: waste your time or do something, or do studies or do something new and explore. So we just explored, and that led us here.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Absolutely, anything. It actually could be anything in the world, as long as you're dedicated and you're passionate about it. just go for it. Just spend a lot of time. Like, I mean, I didn't build electric, so like electric is like over 11,000 lines of code, right? It's not something that's it was very hard to persevere, like, because there's so many other like cool ideas floating around me. But I thought that like you don't get anything for like just starting a project. You only get it for like finishing, right? So I am still actually actively working on it on electric, and as long as you're passionate about something, it could be anything. Like you will get somewhere, or you'll get very far.
Yes.